two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal, they're talking about movies, and you know they are really groovy. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal, they're talking about movies, and we know they are really groovy.
Hello, hello, and it's two guys and two gals. We have equilibrium finally. Yay!
Two guys and two gals talking about movies. Two guys and two gals.
And
I
both
love
They
it.
don't like to show their faces on the show now.
Because we're girls. It takes
no, no.
forever for us to get,
Okay.
I got them started. I already got them
thing.
started.
It's
No,
different.
you guys, like literally 15 minutes before I
Yeah.
logged into Facebook, and I was having a battle with my older daughter because my husband was running late, and she's like, "Mommy, I don't want you to do the show. I want you to come out with me. Let's go play." And I'm like, "I can't." And yeah, I didn't have any time to get ready, you guys. I'm so sorry. I look like a mom, and I want to keep my
Not a problem.
my nice cool image on Facebook and everywhere. So yeah, if people see me looking like a mom, I'm gonna lose followers.
Two guys
Put
and
on
a
my-
mom talking about movies. Two guys and a mom talking
My
about
hair is a mess. My hair is a mess, and I don't look good. I got no makeup. No. Yeah, but I'm excited for today's show, you guys. Thank you so much for bringing me back. And Manny, you gave me the opportunity to choose again, and I went with Al Pacino. And
Yeah.
come on, I'm
Hoo-wah!
surprised.
And a
I'm surprised
great
you guys.
choice. Great choice.
You didn't do it already. I was surprised when I saw your list. I'm like, wow, that's still up there.
Well,
You've
we
been doing
were
this show
waiting.
for a while.
We were waiting for you, Pan.
Yeah. I've watched all his earlier movies, especially. I used to watch them with my dad. My dad is a big fan of all the Italian movies, even though he's not Italian. He just loves them. And so I remember watching some bad movies. Shouldn't be watching them when I was like really young with my.
Carlito's Way.
I saw The Godfather with my dad at a very young age, and like I'm surprised he let me watch that stuff because there was a lot of
Yeah.
killing.
That's a lot of killing. Horses' heads and beds and all sorts of
Yeah,
weird
but
things.
my dad loved that type of stuff, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, you're tough. You can
Don't
handle
stop for
it.
the toll booth.
Just just don't go murder anybody. Don't let this be your reality." But yeah, so let's jump into it. I'm curious to see what your top fives are, to be honest.
You gotta work with these two guts. Come on, Pop.
Hey.
There you go.
Now it's
Well,
funny. I liked all of his old movies as well. Because when he was young, he had that kind of voice and something wrong here. And as he got older, his voice got rougher, and now he sounds like Al Pacino.
it's all that yelling.
I love when he loses it on camera. This is
Bill Hader is the funniest Al Pacino.
I'm trying to share this. Is this where you guys streaming it? Are you streaming it on
So now we're streaming it from the CCTV page because StreamYard no longer allows groups.
On YouTube.
And
right?
so we're on YouTube. But on
on
Facebook,
YouTube.
let me see if I can put it in.
I haven't been streaming using StreamYards, so I don't know the new rules since they changed.
Yeah, they only do pages now. They only do pages. They no longer allow groups.
So where can I have to go to the Cosmos page to find this and share it out, like share it on my page?
Yeah,
Is that how
I'm gonna.
feel?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Is I'm gonna
I'll
tag
send you the show
in
after
there.
after it's. But
So let me see if I can either share it.
I found it. I found it, you guys. I found it. I went to the
you found
page.
it?
I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna be sharing it now in my page. Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, I don't need to tag you then. Okay, thank you.
No. Thanks.
You're it.
Sorry about that. I just want to get more people to come in.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah. Well, Pan, since you're our guest, it's tradition that our guest goes first. So, can you give us your number one whenever you're ready?
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, you guys, I was again wondering whether I should go with Scarface or The Godfather. I
Mhm.
thought about it, and then I decided I'm going to go with The Godfather because he did that before Scarface. He
Yeah.
really opened up the door for Al Pacino, and that's my number one.
Mm-hmm.
But I was
Excellent.
hesitating between those two, Scarface and The Godfather.
Yeah.
This was a similar battle that I had when I was trying to do my top 5 list. But there was 5 of them that I was juggling back and forth, and I was like, ah. And if you see my page, there's a lot of scratching out and then rewriting of titles. Um, and again, when I started, The Godfather was at the top of my list. It's a good performance by him. It's a wonderful performance by him because he's very innocent and naive and in the beginning, and then he devolves, if you will, into what happens at the end of the film. You got my money.
Yeah.
It's funny because the person who wrote the script wanted him to play the actor, right? He was really thinking about him from the beginning, even though many actors auditioned for this part. But the producers weren't happy with his performance when they started shooting, and then the writer's like, you know what? There's one scene that I think he would be perfect for, so let's shoot that one first, and you guys are gonna see how great he is. So he had a couple of people supporting him in the beginning, and then he did that scene. It was very, very like he was so cold, and he shot 2 people. They were having dinner. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
The
think it was
restaurant scene. Yeah.
That's where the line came from that I just did. You got my money.
yeah, you got my money. And then
The
it was
crooked
so
police
like
officer.
he really looked like the part, like he was believable. And then after that, everyone like just showed him respect, and they were able to kind of film the rest of the movie, giving him the confidence. Because in one of the interviews that I seen him do, he kept mentioning to everyone, telling them, if I don't feel like I'm wanted in a film, like if he doesn't feel like everyone is supporting him, he can't perform. He kind of blocks. He gets really like anxious and stuff. But as soon as he felt that everybody was on board with him playing this part after that scene that we just talked about, he gained that confidence, and then he was able to do his method acting. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that like not everybody wanted him to do this part, and he's famous for this one. I mean, all the other Godfathers that followed, he did a very good job on the second one, right? He was even better on Godfather 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now I think his best Godfather performance was the first one.
Oh, you still think that was his
Godfather
best?
3 and 2 didn't even make my list.
Okay,
I
yeah.
thought his performance was so much more leveled, or different levels, for the same
Yeah.
character. Just a much more intricate performance from him. And like you said, yeah, nobody knew who he was at the time. He'd only done a couple of movies before this one.
Yeah.
So, Needle Park, Panic in Needle Park,
Mhm.
and another one, and he'd done a television show. So, I mean,
Yeah.
they took a huge gamble on him.
Yeah,
but
he was
it
a
turned him
theater.
into a A-lister star.
Yeah,
Yes.
he loves the theater. His humble beginnings were doing theater work. Then he got some training with what was that guy's name from Actor Studio? That Lee what was his
Lee
last name?
Strasberg.
Yeah. And after that opened more doors for him. But he always speaks of theater. His passion started there, and it's still there. But he has one of those faces, like the camera loves him. Especially when he was younger, he had that fresh young face, those big, big eyes. A lot of his acting was just by looking at his face and his body, the way he moved. He's not a very tall man, but he has such a grand presence, like he's like 5'6", but he acts like as if he's like 6'3", and he's like so bigger than life. And I don't know, I like
Yeah.
how he performs. Stop looking at me like this, Rory.
I'm, I'm
The
waiting to
whole
see if
show
Manny's
for
going to go
me is
next.
Rory reacting. Like every time Rory's on screen, he's like
Imagine if
judging us. He's like judging us, but he doesn't say it.
I mean,
Hey, hold
I
imagine
on
if,
love
now.
it.
and
Look
it's
at
just my
it's just
In
picture.
most cases, I'm agreeing.
no, but it's
It's just my
adorable. I
picture.
love it. Look at
It's just
that.
my picture. Imagine if it was my real face. I would like stare at him back and say what? What you looking at there,
And
Willis?
again, she picked a good number one. Godfather
Yeah.
is about as good as it gets.
But even
Yeah.
Scarface, like I'm telling you, all day I was like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But at the end, I said,
Yeah.
nah, The
Well, I
Godfather.
gotta. Okay. Well.
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, yeah, I had the same struggle. I think we all did, but I went in an entirely different direction with my number one, and I think
Okay.
it might be a little surprising, but my number one was actually "Scent of a Woman."
Oh no,
Okay.
really?
Yeah, yeah. Talk about judgy. Oh my gosh. No.
That was my
Really?
number one pick, too.
What?
What?
Yes. I picked that one as well because he played a really, really
Well,
interesting character.
He won his
It was the
first
character of a
Oscar.
lifetime.
He
Yeah.
won
Yeah.
He was a
his first
blind
Oscar.
man,
Yeah.
for one. And he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
totally convincing in the role. And again, I just, a lot of people say Scarface was the one that he's best remembered for.
Yeah.
But I know, hoo-wah! If you see anybody go up to him on the street, I bet you 9 out of 10 times they go, hoo-wah!
Hooah!
I know. I mean, my husband, when I was talking about the film, which film I should, he did tell me put that one as first, Scent of a Woman. I guess it really, I think, yeah, maybe I
Wow.
should go back and watch it again. It's been a long time since I've watched
Yeah.
all his movies.
Yeah.
But
Well,
look, I mean, it makes sense. You both picked it as one, so it must, yeah.
Again,
He did,
there's so many levels to the character. He's
yeah,
suicidal, he's ex-military, he's blind, and then he's
yeah.
trying to help this kid Charlie out.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, and
So
I
the
want to
speech
mention,
at the
yeah,
end is just
yeah.
phenomenal.
yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
not a rat.
No, he's not.
Chris O'Donnell plays Charlie. One of his early roles. He was, another up and comer, just like De Niro. Sorry, just like Pacino was when he was young.
Yeah.
Until he
Those are
until he
beginner
crashed
ones.
until he crashed and burned with the dumpster fire that was Batman and Robin. But he managed to redeem himself with the NCIS show. But anyway, so yeah, just great cast. Their chemistry was awesome. As sort of the wiser older man who is at a point in his life where it's like, yeah, I'm worthless, I'm useless. Might as well just have one last big hurrah and then end it all. Which is not a spoiler. I mean that we learned this halfway through the movie, but he gets a second lease in life with his time together with Charlie, and realizes that maybe maybe there's a little bit left in him. He even connects with his the grandkids, I guess.
Granddaughter?
Little granddaughter at the end, and grandson. Um, and yeah, it's just and I thought, maybe it's because I'm getting older and a little bit more sentimental. But yeah, I mean, I had Godfather and Scarface at the top as well. But I kept coming back to this movie, and I thought, well, those are kind of expected. I mean, those are great performances, they're great movies, but this particular role really has stuck with me, just like Rory said,
Yeah.
through all these years, um, and it's just a really performance. And again, I think I gravitate to actors and roles that absolutely challenge them. And this was a challenging role for Pacino to portray this blind man. Uh, because he's usually such, his characters are usually so, put together and stuff. And this guy, I mean, he's very military and very he speaks in that military terms and the cadence and everything. But underneath it all is this very vulnerable, very broken man. And it's funny because even his daughter at the beginning of the movie, when Charlie first shows up, he says, "Oh, don't worry, he's really a pussycat at something," and then he's screaming and calling him an idiot and all this stuff. But then as the movie progresses, yes, you find out that he really is a pussycat. Sort of hiding behind this facade of
yeah, I mean, he was acting all tough, right? Especially when he first met him in the beginning, and the guy didn't even want to like continue, working with him. But
scared him to death.
But the thing is, with even in real life, when you meet people that are they come across really like hard when you meet them, like hard to crack, and they have this persona that they're very tough. I would say in most cases, they're very sensitive, emotional people, and they don't show that side to everyone. Like my dad, he used to watch all his movies and all the Italian, Rocky and all that. I mean, I grew up watching that stuff. Like, we were 3 girls at the house, but he never treated us like girls. It was like I guess he always wanted us to be boys. He wanted sons, He got 3 girls instead. Poor guy. But my dad was like the same. Like, my dad was always this rough kind of.
My dad was the same way. He was ex-military, ex-Navy. He was a fireman for 22 years.
Oh, wow,
But that's called a psychiatrist who talked to him early on because of my sister said, you're what's called a paper tiger. That's what they're called.
Okay, yeah. Well, my dad never served in military and all that, but he was an immigrant. So when he came to Canada, like and he's still in Canada. I moved later to the United States with my husband, but like he had to go through a lot, and that kind of toughened him. And because he didn't speak the English language and he was like really behind in everything, he had to do all these odd jobs, and kind of struggle. But he was like that type of guy, very like tough and very serious. But then once you really spent a lot of like alone time and people really got to know him, he was like the sweetest, kindest, most generous person. Like, all my friends, they used to be scared of my dad at first when they would meet him. Like, really, like they were so scared. And he had that crazy, like Italian Greeks, they look the same. But then once my dad started spending time with them individually, like when we used to eat at the table and this and that, then my friends were like, "Man, your dad is cool. He's like really nice." But he would never show that. So that's why I think I like those characters, the Godfather and all that, because it's like, it reminds me of my dad. So it's like innate, you're like gravitated to what you know.
Yeah.
But I have to ask you, I have to press you on this because I've never heard ever that the Canadians, they're pretty easygoing people, rough on people, immigrants that came into the country.
My dad, no. I mean, in general, the country, like, they let them come in, but they had their reasons. They were looking for workers. So my dad, because he didn't speak the language and he couldn't do any job, he had to work at restaurants, and that's where you get mistreated. And sometimes like they would pay them in cash, and sometimes he would leave restaurants and people would just like, a bunch of guys would just steal his money and like, beat him up because they knew he got paid that night, So he was like, anyways, man, I'm not going to tell you stories about my dad. This is, but it's not as easy as you guys think.
Again, you're painting a very different picture of Canada than I have in my head.
Not in Montreal, but not in Montreal back in those days.
Montreal's a rough place, huh?
A rough place. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, look, certain areas, I mean, he worked downtown. But anyways, okay, so back to The Godfather. That's my number 1. Okay, everyone said
what was your number 2?
Okay, so it's Scarface. Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah.
That guy, I never trust him.
Never trust him. No. Oh my God. First of all, this movie, he's talked about this movie, and he said it's the only movie that he went full like theatrical on this character. Over the top, didn't follow his training as an actor, like method acting. because he couldn't really relate to the character, so he envisioned it in one way. So he really, really went crazy with the way he spoke. And, like, come on, you guys saw the movie. It's like some scenes are like laughable now, but I remember
This is why it's lower on it's in my top 5, but it's lower on my list because
too much.
I grew up in Miami, so I just didn't buy the Cuban accent for one.
Yeah.
It's really a caricature, and it's obviously a caricature.
I don't know. I bought it. I was like, okay, I guess that's how they speak. They say hello to
First
my
you'll get the
little
money,
friend.
then you'll get the power.
Yeah.
Like he's seeing this little guy being all tough. I don't know. It's comical if you think about it. But when I watched it, when I was a kid, I was like, damn, this guy.
Oh man, we were younger and we first saw it when it came out. We were all talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
It was. I remember my cousins. They used to love this movie. My guy cousins, and they're like, man, they used to act out the scenes, and they're like, anyways, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna waste the whole show. It's already 6:30 almost. But it was like, among the Greek community, people used to like really talk about it and act out scenes, and my friends, we used to go crazy about this movie. It was too much, but I love it, and that's why it's my top 2. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I'll just say my number 2 was actually The Godfather 2.
Godfather 2
was originally, it was original. Well,
look at him there.
Really, and I see Rory's point.
Broke my heart. Actually, I did it as old Pacino. You broke my heart.
There you go. And I see Rory's point about Godfather, the first Godfather, and it, to me, the Godfather is the origin story. It's Michael's origin story. Right. Going from this sort of innocent, wanting to be a good man, and then slowly having to change and becoming part of the family. Part of the organization.
Familia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, The Godfather 2 is, well, first of all, it's a prequel and a sequel, because we see Robert De Niro playing Vito, as a young man, and his rise to power, and how he got there. But then we see Pacino and his trying to maintain that power. Now he's in that position. He actually is trying to, at the beginning, and again, there's that arc where at the beginning he's trying to move the family, the organization, whatever, kind of away from, not make them entirely straight, but kind of move them away from some of the stuff that they were doing, the stuff that his father was doing. A kinder, gentler mafia. But as it went on, of course, and the police were coming down on him, and all that, DAs and what have you, and you started to see that approach just wasn't going to work. That sometimes he did have to employ violence. He did have to employ, that there was just a certain level of ruthlessness that had to be accomplished, and then of course, so that changed him as he went on. So there was to me, there was an even bigger change in part 2 than there was in part 1. Before, sorry, Pam.
Sorry, keep going. Sorry, I have a tendency of interrupting.
You see him wrestling with it, yeah.
Yeah, you see him wrestling with it, and to me, I mean, both movies. Originally, I really had it as a duology. It was a tie. It was Godfather and Godfather Part 2 together. The more I thought about it, the more I felt like Godfather 2 really deepened his character, and really saw that struggle, that maybe you didn't see in Vito, either Marlon Brando or De Niro's version. And of course, by the end of the movie, it's consumed him. He has become his father. He has become the head of the family in every sense of the term. And unfortunately, all that got squandered in Godfather 3, which I think is just, it's not a bad movie. It's not a terrible movie, but it's just not as good as the first two.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It does have good points. And Sophia.
Yeah,
Coppola.
I just didn't find
a better director.
Yeah, I just didn't find it as engaging as the first two, so that's why I didn't include that. But yeah,
every time I try to get out, they pull me back in.
Yeah, which is the only memorable line in that movie. And of course, a lot of people blame Sofia Coppola.
I want to choke in on a cannoli.
And yeah. And
oh man, I wish I had one now.
Yeah, and
should go to that Italian bakery right here.
Hey, there you go. Hey. Leave the gun. Bring the cannoli.
All three Godfathers as her number one.
Blame my dad. My dad. It's like, come and watch this. I'm glad you
said that because I had a couple of ties here on my list.
My dad, come and watch this. I'm like, what? Are you sure you want me to watch this? Daddy. You're gonna like this.
Watch me put his glasses in this guy's eye.
It's like they're like mafiosi. They're like bad people, but you love them when you watch them on screen. You're rooting for them.
Yeah,
that's like psychologically weird, right? Why are we? Why are we like loving these characters?
Yeah,
the whole Goodfellas thing.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
the Goodfellas. Yeah,
that's why Carlito's Way didn't make my list. They were trying too hard.
Trying too hard, exactly. Well, my third pick is Scent of a Woman. So we already discussed it. So you can tell me what your third movies are.
All right, Rory.
And Justice for All was my number 3, tied with Dog Day Afternoon.
Ooh,
awesome.
So these two are kind of similar in the fact that they deal with justice and the law and. Again, interesting characters played by young Pacino.
Yeah.
And Justice for All is basically a comedy, and it's a courtroom comedy. And there's a lot of interesting characters in the movie besides Pacino, like Jeff. I forgot or didn't know who Jeff Tambor was until I rewatched it this week. I was like, that's Jeff Tambor. I've met that guy. Playing his partner, his legal partner. And who plays the crazy judge? Jack Warden. Jack Warden.
Jack Warden, yeah.
I'm just gonna ask.
Judge who takes helicopters out with just enough gas, and then
Hey, Pinky.
Tries to go beyond the halfway point.
So sorry to interrupt, but Pinky, would you mind tagging a couple of people? Let's bring in more people.
Tag a couple of people.
Hey, yo, Pinky, you wanna
Pinky?
Hey, yo,
tag a couple of people. Will you? Come on.
Tag a couple of people in here, right? Well, hey,
there's a cannoli in it.
Dog Day Afternoon,
I'll send you a cannoli.
Dog Day Afternoon. Yeah.
Hey, if I knew we could match
some
movies,
comedy, some drama.
Next time I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put 2 movies together. Sometimes if I'm having a hard time picking, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna.
You can have a tie.
Yeah,
I'll have a tie for the next one then. Let me hold on.
Awesome.
Let me go back to my list.
I've got a tie for the next one.
Again?
Yes. Because my number 4 is Scarface and Heat.
Wow.
You put them together. You see, my number 4 is Heat.
There you go. So let's talk about that.
Well,
we talked about Scarface.
Yeah. So yeah, my number 3 was Scarface. So yeah, we can move on.
All right.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah.
First you get the money, then you get the power.
You know what? What we didn't talk about Scarface.
Then you get Michelle Pfeiffer.
What we didn't talk about Scarface is
it's a remake.
Like when
It's a remake. It's a remake of a movie from
It is a remake, yes, from 1932, that movie, right?
Yeah,
when did they make
Paul Mooney? Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he did watch that movie, and he was like so impressed by it, and he was just like reenacting all the scenes. And then when he was offered this movie to make this movie, he jumped right away to the opportunity. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." But what's interesting about Scarface is, okay, so like you see the character, right? Like from the beginning, he's like a criminal, but at the end you see him becoming like the leader of all the criminals. Like he was the top dog,
crime boss,
the big boss among these criminals, and
lots of cocaine.
Oh my god! Right, the scene with the he's just putting his.
The big
Now people
mountain.
make fun of the. People make fun of these scenes now. It has become like you said, a character.
Yeah.
They've parodied it so much, that now it's laughable itself. Yes.
Yeah.
But you see,
But at the time,
okay, he was always like a criminal. Okay, let's keep that in mind. But we liked him in the beginning. We were kind of rooting for him. But then towards the end, you see when he gets everything, right? He gets the money, the mansion, the girl, this and that. You see how he lost himself completely. He became pitiful, like you almost felt sorry for him. And that's the only thing that I really liked about that movie. It captured very well, like getting to the top and making all this money. Everything he wanted to achieve still did not make him happy. If anything, it ruined him.
yeah.
Right? His thirst to become like the top criminal, whatever.
He wanted his sled, Rosebud.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about that. That's why I'm back talking about it.
He used to snort lines off of her. She was great.
You saw it even with the girl he was with, right? At the end, he lost his friends. He lost the girl. He lost even his sister, right?
Yeah.
So you saw the collapse with all the relationships, and you saw him like losing himself, and basically it was sad at the end. Not that he died. That was a given. They would shoot him and he would be dead, but that he kind of like it was over. He lost everything. He lost himself basically.
Yeah.
But again, you feel sorry for him, and he's a criminal, and it's like we still watch the movie and we're thinking, we're rooting for him. We want him to succeed, and it's kind of weird because it's like you don't want criminals to succeed. You want only like the good people to succeed. But that's cinema, right? They make you fall in love with these characters, and
It warms my heart to hear you say that because it's such a guy flick. It really is. Let's pull Renee in for this part.
I love guy flicks.
That's what I was trying to figure. I was trying.
How do you feel about Scarface?
Yeah, I mean, I was really surprised when Pan. I was actually really impressed, like in a positive way. I was so surprised because most women I know, they don't appreciate like Pacino at all. Like they're not into this stuff. Like I was first exposed to Scarface because of like gangster rap, like in the 90s. Remember, like everyone, like if you want to understand gangster rap from like the West Coast,
I love gangster rap.
Yeah, me too, and I'm like obsessed
like,
with it. Always.
I mean, I used to listen to Tupac. I can actually sing most of his songs. I mean.
Me too. Like that was my entire obsession in life was Tupac Shakur. So
he's still alive. He's still alive.
He is Tupac. No, man, he got shot. Come on.
Y'all are too hard for me, man. You're right at you, man.
I'm going through a bad phase. Like I'm bringing out
these more money after his supposed death than most people have made in their life.
Here's the same thing about Elvis. What are you talking about? The guy's dead. Come on. He doesn't want to live in the shadows.
Here's the thing, though. Pan and I are both like she's Greek. I'm Ukrainian. Our people came in through like either like the top part of North America. So that was sort of like ingrained in us. Like we're not like normal. We're not like normal, regular white Americans. We are tough. Like if you want to see tough, like
you're not white bread.
No, like look at what people in our part of the world do. Like we are not the same. We're not the same.
Okay, like you guys have watched like war movies and like, right? Like you don't get scared to watch. So it's the same thing. You just see people shooting each other, but it's anyways, whatever. It's
Tupac.
fine.
All I'm gonna say is this: is that I love Tupac and he's like my spirit animal, and I absolutely adore him. But
I just like the way he would like just rap, like the words and like how quickly and
But he actually
spirit animal.
But he did spend time, like his mom was addicted to crack and all that, but he really was a theater kid, and he went to this prestigious theater high school actually. So I think like if you put him into some of the areas of the world, like when Snoop Doggy Dogg went to Nigeria, he was there for like a week and he's like, I can't, no, it's scary. I've got to go back to Long Beach.
It's all an act. It's all an
It's an
act.
act. It's an act. Yes.
Yeah.
It's an act.
Thank you. Yes, it is an act actually. I mean, but that's good. Tupac was a great actor. But anyways, yeah. So when she came in, when Pan said Al Pacino, I was like, seriously? And then I'm like, well, it is Pan. Like that makes sense to me because she's not a wallflower. She's not.
What do you
know
want me
what
to
I
say?
mean?
Let's talk about like Mary Poppins. Like, let's talk
Yeah.
about like what
Let's
are we
talk
gonna
about
talk?
the movies by Julie Andrews.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about okay. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I've
No.
watched her movies. I love musicals. I know all her musicals. I can sing them all. But
Yeah.
I won't sit here and talk about
Exactly.
no.
Like I did think it was cool that the guys didn't come up
Number
with
one
this
on the list,
show. I
SOB.
thought it was cool that you came up with this show.
I'm not your typical person. Okay,
Yeah.
you guys. I
Hey,
yeah, like I said, you know, I grew up watching these movies.
That's why
Like,
we love you.
Don't criticize. Don't criticize.
I said that's why we love you. Because you're different.
I promise I'm sweet.
You're not white bread.
Sometimes. I'm going through a phase now. I'm bringing all the big guns out lately.
Ooh.
I'm feeling angry lately. Angry.
Uh-oh.
I'll do an Al Pacino very
Like
soon.
Jim Carrey in The Mask.
imitation.
Yeah, all the guns, yeah.
You know what it is, Pan? You and I are like roughly the same age and we have a lot of stuff in common. I think by the time you get to our age, I feel like we just have had a lot of pressure and we sort of just are getting tired of it. You know what I mean? Like, so our fangs
Listen,
are coming out. Our claws are coming out a little bit more. I hear you.
Listen,
I feel you.
listen, okay, listen. I write lyrics. That's my new thing now. I'm writing lyrics and I'm trying to make music with lots of people. And every time I write something, I have a vision. I know, okay, this song is going to be like rock. This one is going to be pop. This one is going to be. I wrote one recently, and I'm like, this one is going to be rap. And I just did it on the spot. Like I recorded it like in 2 seconds. The rap just came out of my mouth. Now don't ask how I did it. I had the feeling inside. Boom, it comes out. I posted online. People sending me messages. Are you okay? Who are you? I'm like, what? Because I said the F
your
word.
spirit animal.
I'm like, Tupac kind of went inside my soul, and he's like, bring it out. No,
There you
but
go.
like, I listen like what Renee said. You know, growing up like because like we grew up like what in the 90s, 80s, right, early 2000s, and I I think that I've watched movies that I would never let my kids watch today. For example, you know, like The Godfather. No way I would let my girls, even as teenagers, watch it. I would be afraid for them to watch it, but I watched it with my dad, and he was like, "It's okay." I'm like, "Okay." So yeah, like I mean, come on, you know, like we in our generation, we watch things and listen to music that probably will shock people.
Someday you may have to do a favor for me.
My God, my dad was like the real Godfather. No, I'm just joking.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's Canadians that driving me crazy.
He's so not Canadian. He's like a Greekster. He's like 85 and like he's like the real
Let's piss off Canada with the show.
So where are we on the?
I don't know. Okay,
number 5.
Okay. Number
We're on
five. No, wait. We didn't talk about Heat. We didn't talk about Heat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, I said Heat was
I
one
loved
of the
it because
fours.
both actors were there, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. And I'll come back for Robert De Niro if you want me to talk about him.
Yeah. Oh, well,
yeah,
we're gonna. He was there for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, his earlier movies, I don't like that.
Val Kilmer.
Okay, yeah. Heat was good.
Pacino
they were both in it.
Has played a cop before, but for some reason, I really liked him as the cop in this one. And maybe it's because it's Michael Mann, you know, and he does, you know, Miami Vice and stuff like that. And, you know, he did the Lecter thing with Will Graham and Manhunter.
So you're happy that he did the cop and Al Pacino? De Niro was the bad guy, the criminal.
Yeah.
You thought it was well cast. Okay, you bought it. Okay.
Yeah. De Niro plays a good bad guy.
I mean, either way, right? It doesn't matter. They would have done a good job either way.
Well,
Oh no.
speaking of Pacino playing a cop,
Yeah.
my number 4 is Insomnia.
Huh?
A movie called
Interesting.
Insomnia.
I haven't watched that one. How's that
Oh,
possible?
Insomnia it's actually a remake of a Norwegian film. And this one is one of Christopher Nolan's early movies. Who he went on to direct Inception and Batman and all those movies. But in this movie, Insomnia, Oppenheimer, yeah. De Niro again. Pacino plays a Los Angeles policeman. He and his partner, played by Mike Donovan, they are flown up to Alaska to investigate the murder of this young girl, and they're both, well, especially Pacino. His character is under a cloud of suspicion already. There's a internal affairs investigation being conducted and all this stuff, and also he's suffering from insomnia. It's the movie. He can't sleep, and he happens to show up during the period where the sun never sets, or it just sort of dips down to the horizon but never sets. There's this long period of light in Alaska, and so he's investigating this case, and the killer is played by Robin Williams, which is one of it. Yeah, but it's one of his early movie roles as well. And this one he plays not a serial killer, but he plays he's a writer.
Now I really want to watch it.
Who it turns out is a murderer. But there's this head game that's played between De Niro and him as the movie progresses. And
Pacino.
De Niro, Pacino, damn it, why can't I say Pacino?
I don't know. You tell us.
You wanted De Niro to be in this movie. You wanted De Niro.
I wanted him to be in the movie.
Or he can distinguish both actors.
These guys, they all look alike to me. No. So
you goombas.
Yeah, these goombas, they all do look alike, So Pacino is a very definitely, he's not entirely the good guy in this movie. There's very different shades of gray to this guy. And like I said, it's a terrific cast. Besides Robin Williams, we also have Hilary Swanks in the movie, Laura Tierney, Paul Dooley is in the movie.
Yeah, Hilary Swank was his partner, wasn't she?
No, she is like a deputy. She's like a deputy sheriff.
Okay, from Alaska. Okay,
from Alaska.
It's been a while since I saw the movie. I when I saw the movie, I didn't buy Robin Williams as a serial killer.
Yeah.
I had a big problem with that. When he did 1 Hour Photo, yeah, he was a much creepier character, and I bought that, which came shortly after this one. And again, Williams wanted to start playing dramatic roles at the time because he'd done all these comedies, and some of them were hit, some of them were missed. And I understand why he did it. I just didn't believe it.
Yeah.
So that's why it didn't make my list.
Oh, I'm the opposite. To me, I felt like that was the whole point. That you look at this guy and you think, oh, nah, he couldn't possibly have murdered anybody. He's too whatever. But then toward the end, no, I totally bought it, especially toward the end where he just goes completely nuts. And he's trying to kill the sheriff, he's trying to kill him. I forget who talk about the banality of evil.
I'll give it another look.
Yeah,
I'm gonna definitely watch it now.
Yeah,
I've never watched it.
Yeah.
What? What did you say, Rory?
Okay, now hold on. I just want to, because I kept laughing over it. Let me just do it. Please do it.
Again, Renee loves it when I do Robin Williams.
Do it.
I'm gonna kill Hilary Swank.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, I never.
That's what I saw.
That.
We did cover that actor, right? Did I come for that one? I don't even know anymore. I'm losing
What?
track now.
For
Did you
Hilary
guys
Swank?
do? No, Robert.
Oh, Robin Williams.
Yeah, did you do
Oh
Robert
yeah,
Williams on
yeah,
the show?
yeah. That was one of our earlier, probably one of
Yeah,
our
we did Brown
earliest
Williams.
Was
series.
I
Yeah.
there? I wasn't there, right?
No, you were not.
Why?
Obviously not.
Why did you do it without me? I wasn't part of the monthly the
No.
monthly thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
What a shame.
yeah, yeah.
But you
I
can go back
don't.
and watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was an interesting show.
I think I did. You know what? That's I'm confused. Was I there or was I watching? I probably did watch it and made
I think
comments
you probably
because
you
I watch your
commented.
stuff,
Yeah.
you guys. I always watch your stuff. Even if I'm not commenting, I always watch the replay. Always.
No,
Thank you.
we
That's why
appreciate
I'm
that.
like, was I there or was I just commenting?
You were
'Cause I
there in
remember
spirit.
You were
I'm always
there.
there, right?
You were there in
But
We
spirit.
just weren't on camera.
yeah, but what was I going? I'm gonna watch it. You convinced me, Manny. I'm gonna watch
Yeah,
it this weekend. Why not? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Please, I think it's a very
And
good
like
movie.
with Jeff Tambor, I didn't realize Chris Nolan directed it. So that's the main reason why I'm going to go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because maybe I was a little too hard on it when it was in the movie theater. So
Now, if you're into darkness and depression, watch the original Norwegian version. Holy cow! The Europeans know how to go hard on darkness
Yeah,
and
darkness doesn't scare me. I love that stuff. You
so,
know, I've been watching this new series now on Netflix called Evil.
mm,
It was produced back in 2021, but for some reason, I don't know like what happened. They removed it, they put it back on. I don't know what's happening, but it
yeah.
appeared it's called Evil. Now, it's kind of like cheesy as the episodes progress, but it's interesting. It's dark. And
Cool.
but there's a little bit of comedy in it. Not it's not that dark, but anyways, yeah, I watch a lot of dark stuff. I'm fascinated with that stuff. Not to say that I'm a dark person, but I like art that's dark, like you know, movies
So
that
my
are
number,
scary and stuff like that. I
yeah. So
like
my
watching that.
number, my number 5 was Injustice for All. So we talked about
For the
that one.
okay,
And Jeffrey Tambor, yeah, I totally forgot that he was in the Jeffrey Tambor.
yeah,
Who was the other? Oh, John Forsythe as the other
the
judge.
first movie that I was an extra in, Jeffrey Tambor was in. It was Brenda Starr, and I got to meet him and take a photo with him. And yeah, he was just a great guy. Just a lot of fun on the set. Very funny guy. And it was funny. I can't remember why, but I was watching an episode of Tales from the Crypt where he plays the real big fat guy that kills Demi Moore.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I forgot all about that. and again, that was like just a few days ago. It wasn't long ago. So it's just weird. Jeffrey Tambor keeps coming into my algorithm.
There you go.
In the scene where he pulls the wig up at the end, like as a hat.
Yeah. So you didn't get to meet Brooke Shields when you did
I did.
Star? Oh, you
I
did?
did. And I actually got to take a picture with her because I talked to her mom, Chris, ahead of time, luckily, and told her I was from, Lake City. I worked for a town newspaper, and I became an extra on the thing. And so when I asked Brooke if I could take a picture, she looked over at her mom. And they sent a runner over, and you could see Chris was like irritated. She looked over and she saw it was me, and she went, and I got a great picture with her.
wow,
Nice.
But Timothy Dalton had just found out he got James Bond. He's in that, and he was gone, so he wasn't there that week. So, but it was a whole week of shooting. We did a circus scene. I was a circus mechanic, and that was the first film. That was the first film that I was ever in as an extra.
wow.
Cool. Wow.
So
There
anyway,
you go.
why digress?
We should do an episode on you. Our top.
All the films I was an extra on.
Our
Oh.
top 5 favorite
But
Rory
didn't you make
Penland
your
movies.
own movie? I remember when I interviewed you. You said you produced your own movie. Didn't you star in your own movie? A movie that you
I
wrote?
did. Well, actually, it ended up being a 3-part thing on YouTube called Ghost House. Yeah, but
Okay.
and I wrote the original screenplay for the film Deadly Species, which was a lot of fun to watch them film. but what came out afterwards was not exactly what I had envisioned when I wrote the screenplay.
Right. Yeah, I remember
and that's the
you
way
telling me
showbiz
this.
is
Yeah.
sometimes. That's the way
Yeah.
it is. Well, sometimes you don't have enough budget to do what you really like to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes people, think they got a
So
handle on the genre, and
Yeah.
maybe not.
That's why you have to do everything. That's why you have to do everything yourself.
but I
Yeah.
bet
So
but I bet it's no Beaster Day though.
it was better than Beaster Day. It was.
I mean, that's fine.
There were a
At least
lot
it's
of
better than
unfavorable
Beaster Day.
critiques, but there were some favorable ones because it had nudity in it, and again, that was not my choice, but
Yeah.
but
Well,
there it is.
there was a lot of nudity in Beaster Day as well. But
Yeah,
gratuitous. So is your buddy General Howitzer ever going to cover Deadly Species or whatever?
It was episode number 100.
Oh, was it? Oh, I missed it. Okay,
was.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
Episode 100 was Deadly Species, or maybe it was 50. Episode 50 was Deadly Species.
I'll look it up.
In any case, my number 5 was Serpico.
Me too.
Of his cops.
Me too. It's my number 5.
Yeah,
Woo-hoo.
it's a good movie. It's an awesome movie. He's
the first time
very very good in it.
The first time I watched this movie was with my husband. He had it as like back in the day, those what you call them? Not DVDs. Yeah, I guess there were DVDs.
VHS?
I don't know.
VHS?
Yeah, there you go. And he was just cleaning up his stuff when he was moving to Sherbrooke. Anyways, the point is we were cleaning up his stuff and I was helping him out, and then we're like, yeah, let's watch this. I watched it with him, and don't ask, man. I loved it. Why, is there something wrong with me? Something wrong with me?
No.
It's a good movie.
So, yeah, Serpico's a great movie. Yeah.
So good, right?
Was that Sidney Lumet? Was one of his movies, right? We talked about the Sidney Lumet.
Correct.
Yeah. And
he looked good in this one.
And it was one of the few that doesn't have a really depressing ending, right?
Yeah.
yeah. He lives at the end.
Lumet has a tendency to do really depressing, dark endings to movies.
I like that it was very close to his personality, because he grew up in New York, right? And you see that, like he wasn't trying to be somebody else, like he was trying to bring back.
Come out.
It was like easy for him to get easy in this character because, he was so comfortable. It was even filmed in New York City and all that. So I don't know. I enjoyed it. He looked good. He was young. He looked good when he was young. I don't know. He hasn't aged very well, sadly. I don't know. Maybe all the alcohol.
Wow. He's in his 70s now, I think, right?
80s.
80s, yeah.
Yeah.
so I think he's held up pretty well.
He's a
little craggier, and the voice is but
he didn't take care of himself.
I was going to say earlier, Bill Hader. There's a videotape of Bill Hader doing a great impression of him. On I think it was Conan O'Brien that asked him, "Isn't there a story that you like to tell about Al Pacino in the kitchen?" And he goes, "Oh." He goes, "Yeah, well, I just did a thing where Pacino was like, if I come in here and that maid leaves a cantaloupe on that table, I will lose my mind." It's a very funny clip.
I like the passion he brings. You can tell he came from theater. You can tell.
Oh, yeah. He's done a couple of movies.
I like the over-the-top kind of acting. I like it. I don't know why. I just do.
He's done a couple of adaptations of Shakespeare. He was in Merchant of Venice.
Yeah.
That's on my honorable mention list.
And Richard.
My pound of flesh.
And Richard III. Well, yeah. My kingdom. Now is this.
I don't like his voice now. I like the young voice. I liked him he was good looking when he was young. His voice was perfect. Then as he got older, it's too much. It's too much, the voice now.
It's started to come out in the 90s, I think, because the first time I realized it was when he played Big Boy Caprice in Dick Tracy.
Yeah, it was a little bit too much. And then the screaming and the over the top became even worse as he aged. But I still like that. I just don't like the voice as much as I did his younger voice.
Yeah, when he was more down here, yeah.
He was, I don't
Now
know,
it's
he
all
had,
over here, yeah.
yeah, he
Whoa.
had more of a sweeter face and a sweeter approach.
Yeah,
But
when he had the
not to say
foreign
he's not a good actor
sideways.
anymore. He's still very good actor.
No.
Like, I mean, he's still acting and he's in his 80s, right? Like, that's pretty impressive.
Pacino.
I wonder how I'm going to be when I'm 80. You know, will I be still doing my thing? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I give anybody credit who's over the age of 70 and still working on their craft. That's pretty impressive. So, you know, go Al Pacino.
I admire the people that made it when they became old, like Wilford Brimley. You didn't really hear about
Right?
Wilford Brimley until like
I know.
Cocoon. And then
I
it was
know.
everywhere.
I
Yeah,
know. Who started career like at 50, 60? He gives hope for the rest of us.
Diabetes.
Yeah, I was watching. We're going to do The Thing on the Big Monster Briefing Room in the near future, and I was watching that. And again, they had a top loader VHS player in the movie, which I was laughing the whole time because I had one of those in the. And again, you had Wilford Brimley without the signature mustache, the Walrus mustache.
Do you still have the unit to play your V? Like, do you still have? No, right? That's it. If you don't have that, what do? You can't do anything with them. You know, like
I swear to God,
collectible.
I threw out thousands of videotapes when I moved to China. I had to throw them all out. At that time, I had visited China. I was picking up DVDs of movies, you know, in little thin bags, so they weren't in big cases or anything. I mean, I had like 8 shelves full of videotapes, you know, VHS tapes, and I had to get rid of most of them. And there was a couple that had some personal stuff, videos and stuff on that I gave to a friend to hold on to until I could get back and copy them, which I did. But I bought everything else for 5 yen on the street, which is like less than $1, in China, and replenished all my. And then I started, you know, putting that stuff on the backup drives, so I don't have to have all the shelves full of, you know, DVDs and movies.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, right? Wow.
Yeah, years and years.
Wow.
only to toss them out on the front lawn.
So you brought them to China? You brought them all to China and you gave them away in China?
No. I threw them out.
Oh, you threw them out?
Yeah, I just threw them on the front lawn. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So, I mean, again, I put them on the front lawn for the trash guys. I put them like 2 days before the trash came, so if anybody wanted them, they could grab them, you know.
Right. If anyone still
again,
had,
I had to put furniture, I had to put all kinds of stuff out on the front lawn.
So when you moved, so when you moved to China, you had to get rid of all your things, and that's one of the stuff you got rid of.
Well, I started recollecting the DVDs on the streets.
Yeah.
5 yen each, you know, it was like less than $1.
Yeah.
And again, they took up a lot less space.
Then
So yeah. And again, not shortly thereafter, I found out about backup drives and how to get all that stuff digitally put into the backup drives, because they don't have copy guard in China.
Nope.
So I was able to re-get my whole collection back together in like a year. That was like my hobby, you know, my first couple of years in China.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. So Serpico.
No, it's fun. I like when
we're honorable mentions, and it's 58 minutes.
Oh my God, we're so late. Okay, it's all my fault. All right. Honorable mention. Let's see now.
Did you say you're number 5, Manny?
Yeah, it was, and Justice for All.
Okay.
It's my number 5. Yeah. So we talked
Okay.
about that one.
Honorable mention.
You're out of water.
Honorable mention. Gotta mention Devil's Advocate.
That's one of my honorable mentions.
Pacino is the devil.
Yeah.
And The Irishman, right?
There's a lot of movies that you would think he would say that line, "She's got a great ass." But it was actually in Heat. Heat was the movie that he actually had that line.
Yeah. There's a lot of movies that he did in after his like earlier years that they brought back not only lines, but exactly like the same delivery of the line. Like he just repeated exactly, you know, like, you know, what was that movie from the one that we just talked about, Scent of a Woman, you know?
Yeah.
Where he's like,
again, for a while I thought maybe that was the movie that he said it in. She got a great ass. Then I thought maybe, it was probably Devil's Advocate because he was being the devil.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be Heat.
Yeah.
Which was a movie, believe it or not, I had not seen until yesterday.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
but
So
yeah,
when it said Michael Mann's name on it, I was like, oh, I'm going to like this. And of course, I had heard all the hype about it.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, Val Kilmer and Michael Madsen, De Niro, Pacino.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Great
so more
classic.
honorable mention movies. You guys, can you think of any other ones?
Any Given Sunday.
Any Given Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of Oliver Stone. I thought he got it right when he did the first big one, which was Platoon. But a lot of his other stuff, I'm not too keen on. But I do have to give Pacino props for being. I mean, I believed he was a coach. He did a great job being a coach.
Yeah.
So whoever coached him on being a coach, good coach.
What about the Panic in Needle Park? This was an old one. Have you seen that
Oh,
one, you
Yeah, that was
guys?
before The Godfather.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Haven't
then
seen
there's
it.
he was in what was it called there? Oh God, I'm getting
Mentioned Dick Tracy. His character was fun in that.
Yeah. That's another one
The
on my list.
Irishman played
The
Jimmy
Recruit. There we
Hoffa.
go. The Recruit.
The Recruit. Yeah.
The Recruit. He was on that one.
And there was a little comedy that he did about AI before AI was a thing, and it's called Simone.
Simone. Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun.
Oh,
again,
yeah,
him
yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
It deserves a nod. It deserves a mention.
Yeah. And I didn't put it on my list, but I had forgotten about Frankie and Johnny.
Oh
and
yeah,
then-
Frankie and Johnny.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Just a nice
Yeah.
little romantic.
When he was the
comedy.
chef, and yeah.
He was the chef. Yeah.
And she
That
was
was-
playing
that
Hard to Get.
Yeah.
Rom-com.
She always
Yeah.
plays Hard to Get.
Yeah, a little bit of a rom-com. Yeah. It was it was a nice little, nobody gets killed, nobody gets shot. But it's a nice. You don't expect to see Pacino in that kind of role, but
Well, good.
I like to
Glad he got
see
to
him.
around.
Okay, this is gonna sound weird again, but I like to see him when because even in Scarface, when he was trying to get Michelle Pfeiffer to notice him, because you gotta remember, he's short and he's not like the most good looking guy, right? He's like an average looking kind of short guy, but he has that charisma, like bigger than life character or personality. And when he tries to get these really beautiful, extremely beautiful girls, the way he acts, like you see, like it was kind of deja vu, like what the way he got Michelle Pfeiffer in Scarface and Frankie and Johnny, he was the same acting, like kind of being like cute, but like a little bit annoying at times. He was always annoying her, trying to get her attention, and then it worked, right? It kind of worked.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
seeing him being vulnerable like that, but not giving up, trying to get that person to notice him, it's kind of like nice to see on camera. You know what I mean? Like that playful thing that he does, try to get her to notice him. Like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of. He has his own personality. You see it on screen. I think he does it in his real life. Because with method acting, he's been trained to go deep in his emotions and not like, it's like you become the character, right? So he's probably going back in somewhere in his past. Maybe that's his way of getting women to notice him, and he's just putting it on screen now. You see it, while playing the character. So I don't know. I just like that. I like that movie. I remember it very well. I remember watching it and thinking, oh, it's cute, the way he's acting on screen. I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
Pinky mentioned Donnie Brasco with Johnny Depp.
Oh, yeah, that one too. Yeah.
On Carlito's Way. Again, I had a little problem with these films because I thought they were trying too much to be like Goodfellas and trying a little too hard. But yeah, I mean, they're not bad films. It's just he's got a lot of good films, So it's hard to pick, 5 or 10 because he's got a lot of good films, You know, a lot of good performances.
Yeah.
The Irishman, like we didn't talk about that one. You guys like didn't even mention it. I guess it was a flop, right?
No, it was a good movie.
It was. I don't know.
I didn't enjoy it.
De Niro and Pesci and Pacino.
I didn't enjoy it. I fell asleep while I was watching it. That's like I was watching it with my husband because again, my husband he's like my dad. That's the only stuff he watches, and then he's like he watched the whole thing. I think I fell asleep because it was like just too much, all of them together, and they were so old, and I was like, I lost interest. The story, like I mean, they were all together,
because they're so wrinkled and gnarly, and
I'm telling you, like the young Al Pacino, the young De Niro, all when they were young, I'll watch it. I'll watch their old stuff again and again. They were all together making this movie. You know, they look.
If you try to compare it to Goodfellas, yeah, it's.
I mean, they were. You know, it's not
sad,
because they looked old. That's kind of like being like an ageist or something, but it's just that it was too much. It was all of them together in one scene. Sometimes it's too much. I didn't even like the storyline. I was like getting bored. I fell asleep.
You didn't like the storyline. Again, he was going for historical, you know, accuracy and significance.
I know.
And it was, you know, it was a real thing. You know, with Hoffa and everything that went on.
But some people really loved it. I mean, a lot of people enjoyed it, and they wanted to see them all together. For me, it didn't work. I don't want to see them all together again. Not at that age. Also, God, I'm an ageist. I gotta stop. No, I'm being funny now. But the point is, I didn't like the storyline. I will say
that Pacino looked older than he ever has in that. Yes,
he sure did.
And Pesci looked a lot older than he ever has.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they were playing characters that were close to their age now.
Yes. Nice
Renee,
way to end.
Did we miss anything?
Renee's gonna kill me for going over. It is all my fault with blah blah blah. This blah blah blah.
No, we love you. We love you. We want more Pan.
Yeah.
More Pan.
More craziness. Why not? The next one, you guys, I want to pick it again, right? Right?
You can pick them again. Yeah.
Are you gonna surprise me with the list again?
Oh, you got a list. Did you get the list?
Oh, it's the same one? Okay.
Yeah, it's the same one. Yeah, I'm just going down the list.
Picking and choosing.
Not in order. I kind of, it's very arbitrary. It's whatever I feel at the moment.
What are you guys doing next week?
Good question.
Yeah, Manny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the replay. If I can't watch live, I'll watch the replay.
Well, I gotta watch 40 movies of this week.
Next week I thought we'd do an actress, and I thought, let's do Sandra Bullock. She's done a lot of interesting movies, so.
Boring.
Was that a groan? Sandra Bullock? Oh, yeah.
I find her boring. I'm sorry. Nah. Next. I'll watch you guys. I'll watch it. I promise I'll watch it. I don't know. Her acting is not.
I can still wants Russ Meyer.
Her acting is not believable.
Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens.
I'm looking at your list now. I just found your list. I opened it.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, Uma Thurman. Do that.
Yeah, we forget about doing her too. So you want us to do Uma Thurman?
Well, no, keep it when I come back, I guess.
Okay, well, when you come back, we'll do
when
Uma.
I come back in 1 month, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
Sandra Bullock.
Good luck. I don't know, man. She's not that. It's like boring.
Oh,
next. She's okay, but I can't even think of one good movie. I don't know how come I'm getting a blank now.
Speed.
Yeah, that was good. Okay.
What was the one with Stallone and Wesley Snipes? The something man.
Demolition Man. See?
Demolition Man. Yeah. That was like her first one, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. Certainly one of her early ones. Yeah.
Demolition Man.
How come I
That
can't
will
think of
that
anything
will
right now?
not
I'm
be on
getting
my
a blank.
top 5 list.
I mean, she did one with the Miss. She was playing a pageant girl there. I couldn't take that movie, man. It was
Miss
so-
She did 2 of
Congeniality.
those, right? Miss
Oh God!
Congeniality, 1 and
Oh,
2.
the only one that's decent was the comedy she did. The Proposal. That was good. That was good. But the rest, I don't know, man. I don't.
Well, now I feel bad.
I don't know, Rory. You want to do sound? I don't know. I'm not gonna be there.
What's next on the list?
Why am I deciding what you guys are doing on your show? Like,
Oh
tell me
my
to shut up.
God.
Tell me, Pan, shut up. Shut up, Pan. Nobody cares, Pan.
No,
This is our show. This is
unfortunately,
my
I'm
show.
with you.
Damn.
There's only a couple movies that I've seen her in that I really thought, that I really liked. And there's probably a lot of good ones that I haven't seen, so I'm gonna have to
Like,
watch
like
them
the
this
movie
week.
Gravity? Have you guys watched Gravity? When she was in
Yes,
space
that's one
and
of
all
the good
that?
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one
See,
is
so
not
there's,
bad. That one
so
is not bad. But
there's a few
again, she
good
got
ones.
I got annoyed towards the middle of the movie. I couldn't take her anymore. Couldn't take her.
Oh,
Didn't
okay.
take her.
All right. All right.
But let me
Take
just
it.
say, I just want to say
She's
something
just
here.
not. She's so boring.
I don't have,
Again.
I literally don't have any opinion at all about Sandra Bullock because she hasn't stood up. But I do want to say this, that
The Net.
Watch her watch this, and I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna have like her PR people. PR
no, but
people call me
but I
like,
want
"Who
to
the
say
heck
this.
are you, Pan?" Like, shut up.
But I want to say this. It's a funny show. It's
Yeah.
a funnier and more entertaining show when Manny and Rory don't have the same sensibilities. So, like,
There you
doing
go.
the Sandra Bullock show of Rory being like, "Oh, I had to watch these movies and she's still boring." Like, that's funnier to me than them just being like, "Oh, we both love Sandra Bullock," you
I
know?
totally agree. Yes,
Yeah.
you made an
Speaks the
excellent
truth.
point.
She speaks
Yeah.
the
There you
truth.
go. All right. So,
Because then Rory's gonna make
so
his
San-
faces.
Sandra
Rory's gonna
Bullock.
make his faces. It's just so
I'm not going to
funny.
change my mind. I happen to like her. I happen to.
Exactly. There you go.
That's why I put her on the list.
We'll add more
so
people to
there.
that list.
It's just so much better.
You
that
know,
way because you
I
can-
love that Manny. He's like, you know
Yeah.
what? I like her, and I'm gonna. That's the
Hey.
show
Isn't
next
that
week.
better
And Tough
It's my,
Nugget.
entertainment?
it's my
Like,
freaking show over here.
I
like
love that. You see
And
now, all of a sudden, Manny,
my
like,
number one is
okay,
The
that's
Lake
it. I
House.
see you in a different light now. All of a
me
sudden,
too. He's so
I
like
love that. Take
sultry. It's so
control. Like,
sultry. So
Yeah.
this is my
Because I
show.
believed
God damn
her
it.
and Keanu Reeves were in love.
Yeah. So there you go.
No, they weren't. But
Speed
anyways,
2. My number 2 is Speed 2.
All right. Now stop.
hey, look, Manny just
Say-
said it's his show. He made a
My
decision.
show
Too bad, Rory.
Rory
Too
is a
bad.
saboteur.
will.
He's gonna be giving you.
Saboteur.
He's gonna be giving you those looks, like, huh?
Exactly.
I'm gonna watch.
That's
Which-
why
I'm gonna
we
be
Renee,
watching
what is the
live.
look?
Which I
What
live
is it?
for. I live for that.
You don't go back and watch yourself, Rory. It's this face of
what
like
is the look?
annoyed. You're like this face like you're like
Right,
you're
that's
so annoyed.
right
Like,
there.
huh? What the huh?
It's the eyebrow. See, it's right there. It's the eyebrows going up. Like, really?
Like I'm plotting your death? Did that look?
No, no, you're not
Yes.
It's not a dangerous look. It's more like you're so annoying look. Like, what? You serious or something? That kind of look. But I'll
Is
watch.
there a Clint Eastwood look? Why did you pick that film?
You see now. You see Clint.
Why did you put that on your top 5 list?
Have you done Clint? I think you did.
Yes.
I
Yes,
watched.
we
You
did.
see, I did watch. Why do I always think that I was there? Because I was there. Like they're watching.
We're
with me.
there. We're there. You're always
I've watched
there.
all the Clint Eastwood movies
You're-
again with
you're-
my dad.
You're like our stalker.
You guys, I like what you do. I mean, I wish I could do it I wish I was part of the show every week, but I
And-
can't. Mondays are kind of crazy for me, like with my kids now, and
Yeah.
I've
No,
even
but
slowed down with my.
we always appreciate when you're here. And
Yeah.
next week it's going
Always
to
a
be
good time.
it's going to be a really, really fun show.
You bring out the worst in us.
We always go over when you're on our show.
First
because
of all, if I
we
bring
love
out
it
the
so much.
worst in you, that's a good thing. I'll keep
Yes.
I'll keep you on your toes. Second of all, if I can't watch live next week, I'll watch the replay and I'll write comments. Sometimes like I work and I just let it play and I listen while I'm doing my work.
Can't
But I'm going to
help it.
go back and actually write something while I'm working. And I'm going to love to see the dynamics between you two. Manny being like, she's so pretty. Look at her. And Rory will be like,
She's very pretty. I will go along with that. She's adorable. She's very pretty.
Okay.
We've had
So you agree on one thing.
shows because we've had shows where the guys literally just agree on everything, and it's like not that entertaining.
Yeah.
I prefer it. No, but like seriously, like isn't it better when you guys go like head to head and you like argue, and then the audience gets to choose sides and cheer on?
Well, that's not on my list.
Well, Renee, you should participate more for the next one because
Renee.
Some of the movies are like tailored more for girls.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Put your money where your mouth is.
I'll put. I have to have an opinion about Sandra Bullock first. I don't even know like I can't even imagine. She is kind of like for some reason I can't really name her films. I'll have to go back in and check it out.
She's not memorable. Wow.
This is going to be a great episode next week.
But I have good feelings towards her.
Speed was good. No, Speed was good. I remember watching it in high school and I thought it was really good. But I can't think of anything else though. And Gravity, I've seen it recently. But again,
let's save it for next week.
Yeah. Yes. I'm starting the show now. Okay, let's stay together for another hour. No, stop talking.
Oh my goodness. See, that's why we love having you on, Pan.
I love you guys too, sincerely.
So
look at that face.
There's that face.
I can't wait to meet you in person someday. Can you imagine how cool that would be? I'm going to come down in Florida. Ding dong. Hey, it's Pan.
Ding dong.
Like I'm going to find you. I'm going to come to your house.
Surprise me. Wow, the house is a mess as usual.
Oh, no.
Come on in.
See, I'm telling you.
No, really? Your house is messy?
Pan's becoming our stalker.
It's all jokes, you guys.
Yeah,
I won't do that. I'm just joking. But I do like a tidy, nice, clean home. Your home is messy. I may be like, start cleaning there,
Uh-oh.
No, that would make me feel bad.
You have a cat, right? Cat hair?
We have two cats.
Ooh, that's a lot of cat hair.
It's a lot of cat hair. But I clean the boxes twice a day.
Great. All right, you guys.
I don't want the house smelling like a cat.
Where is Renee? Why were we still live?
I'm here. Okay, all right. We'll close it out. Somebody close it out.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching another episode of Two Guys and Two
Gals talking about movies. Two guys and a mom talking about movies.
And next week, Sandra Bullock, the obviously very forgettable actress, apparently, that only I like. So,
everyone's going to tune in for that one.
So, see y'all next week. Thanks for watching this episode of Two Guys and Sometimes a Gal Talking About Movies. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell to get future episodes.